Hey guys, Kev here, and I have an overview to do for you. This is the Giantmouse Ace Rio, and I've had this for, I don't know, a week and a half, and I've really enjoyed it. This is probably my favorite, it is my favorite Giantmouse yet. If I got my hands on the Riv liner lock, I'm not sure if that would surpass it, but other than that, I really love this model, man. It just checks a lot of boxes for me. Is it perfect? No. But it really feels like Giantmouse is listening, and, you know, they're trying to make things more like what their customers have been asking for and everything. And, yeah, let's get into it. So this is the Rio. It's denim micarta, and we have CPM Magna Cut. This is made overseas in Italy. And the cool thing about it is if you take it apart, which I did a video on that, you can definitely check that out. I'll probably link it up here at some point. And I put skiff bearings in it, did the whole thing. It says in here, Giantmouse Italy LSK, which to me means lion steel knives, where I feel like for the most part, their knives have been made by Fox Knives over there in Maniago. Not a big difference, but I gotta say, this one's just a lot better, in my opinion. So, yeah, it was just an interesting little tidbit. Denim micarta. This was sent to me by Giantmouse, so I want to make that clear. This was sent as a review sample. I will be passing this around to other channels to check out afterwards, but I did not pay for this, so keep that in mind. I'm not sure of the price. I think they're $195 on their website. I do have a link down below. It does help the channel if you use that link. You also can get a discount if you use LeftyEDC when you check out at Giantmouse. I think it gives you like $5 off your order, which is still something, right? But yeah, I think it comes in black G10 and then the denim micarta Magna Cut with a cool belt satin. I'm not sure if the G10 one has stonewash or something. You can see I've used this. I've carried it. I had it switched over to left side carry. It has excellent lock bar access, which is a departure from a lot of models from Giantmouse. And that's one thing I was saying. They listen. They cut this back, and it's just very nice to disengage. And I mean, it really makes a huge difference compared to the usual where you have to get in there like this, you know, because, you know, Anso, Vox, they're not nail dropper guys, apparently. You know, they disengage their knives like this. And that's how a lot of custom knife makers do it. Lock bar access is always a point of contention a lot of times, and it's because of that, because they're used to doing this. They're not, you know, fidgety guys. So I get it. But it's cool that it was added here. It's a good size knife. Like, it's not huge in any way. Here's a CJRB Pyrite. It's a little bit bigger than that. Here's a Kaiser Drop Bear. Okay, so you can see the size. It's probably about 3.5 inches, maybe 3.4. We can take a look here. Yeah, 3.3, 3.4, something like that. It's a very slender knife. It's a thin knife, which makes it very comfortable in the pocket. One thing I don't love about it is the tip. You can kind of get to it if you get your finger in there a little bit. Like right there, I'm poking myself. They just left a little too much gap here. I think they should bring the handle in a little bit if they do a V2. You have the lanyard post at the end here, you know, taking up space, but that's okay. I just would tuck that all in just a little bit because you have the room there, you know. It's I would call it a spear point blade, which is nice. It's very utilitarian. Spear points are very underrated in my opinion. A lot of us are like drop point or, you know, sheep's foot. But a spear point is kind of the best of both worlds because you have that tip right centered. You can get to it easy to use the tip, but you also have some belly, you know, for good slicing and whatnot. So I think it works both ways. You have the teardrop hole on here, which is always nice to see from Giantmouse. I can get a good thumb flick in there right-handed, no problem at all. Detent is not strong by any means, but it's definitely good. It's a good detent, which is a nice departure from some of the models I've had before where they're too light. Reverse flick right-handed works just fine. You just have to be careful. You can't like come up. If you come up to the top, you tend to kind of hit the frame here, and then it stops you. Left-handed thumb flick's a little harder because you have this area hiding the hole. So I don't really do that, but the reverse flick is nice and open here for a lefty. And again, you just have to make sure you go to the bottom of the hole or flick to the outside, because if you try to go to the top of the hole and flick up, you kind of drag through the frame, and it can stop you a little bit there. But I've just kind of learned what to do. Again, detent isn't like the best in the world, but it's definitely serviceable, and it has a little bit of a snap to it, which is nice. Sometimes detents don't have to be super strong to have that nice crisp break feel to them, and this has that, and that's one thing I really like. One thing I don't like personally is how the knife falls into my hand when I flick it. So left-handed, I'm kind of hitting it like this, and it's starting to want to just slide out of my hand. Like, it's a little longer than I want it to be, I guess, is the best way to put that. I want it to nestle in my palm, where it's more just kind of like I'm trying to just keep pressure down on it. But the action's great, and the ergonomics are wonderful. It is Giantmouse knife. You do feel that clip a little bit. They love the wire clip, and so do I. But on such a short, slender knife, you feel it. You know what I mean? You can feel that hump down here. So I like to choke up like this, and then it's ultra comfortable for me. And they did move that jimping up here so that even in that choke up grip, I have that jimping locking me in. It's very nice. The Magna Cut, I'm going to guess, is just like the Tribeca, which is somewhere around 62 HRC. But that could be different. I don't know. I did put skiff bearings in here, but it comes with multi-row, which is interesting. I think they were Teflon caged steel bearings, and they're multi-row. But I put in skiffs, which are 5mm, 1mm, very small bearings, especially considering the pocket size, but they fit in there, and there's no play, and it works great. So I'm very happy with the skiff upgrade. And centering got better once I put the skiffs in. You can see it's still off a little bit to this side, but definitely better. That's kind of a thing with Italy centering. QC in general, they just struggle with consistency on it. Sometimes they nail it and it's awesome, and sometimes it's just off, But the Giantmouse Ace Rio is just a really cool knife. It's probably my favorite. I think it is my favorite Giantmouse to date. And I can't wait to see what they keep pumping out, because it does seem like they're making some adjustments, listening to, customers and stuff like that. And I think that's always a great sign. So link is down below if you want to check it out. I'd appreciate it if you're going to pick one up anyway, if you use my link or my code LeftyEDC over there. And let me know what you guys think of the Ace Rio. I'm really digging it, and we'll get it passed around here, see what some other people think. So, love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.